Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show where we sift through a ton of information to bring you those key insights, those aha moments you need.
Exactly. Making sense of the complex stuff.
And today, we're kicking off a brand new series we're calling Navigating a Business Model. The whole idea here is to break down those fundamental building blocks of a business model. Think of them as actionable atomic units. Really practical stuff for entrepreneurs, for leaders.
Yeah, stripping away the jargon and getting to the core strategies. We're aiming to make these concepts accessible, genuinely useful, especially when you're just starting out.
Couldn't have said it better.
Mhm.
And for today's deep dive, we're tackling something absolutely foundational, something that honestly trips up so many new ventures: project management and prioritization in a startup.
Oh, absolutely. It's a huge one.
So imagine this. You're building a car, but not just any car. Your vision is crystal clear. It's a specific yellow luxury sedan.
Okay, I'm picturing it. Yellow, luxury.
All right, and your team, they're fired up. Ideas are flying, heated seats, maybe self-driving features. Someone even wants a mini fridge in the back.
Happens all the time. Feature creep is real.
Totally.
Yeah.
But the real challenge isn't just, bolting the pieces together. It's figuring out which of those cool features are absolutely essential for the car to be a functional sedan right now.
Right. What's non-negotiable for version 1?
Exactly. And what can definitely wait, what's phase 2, phase 3, and maybe the hardest part of it. How do you keep the whole team pulling in the same direction, focused on that very specific yellow luxury sedan vision without getting totally bogged down or distracted?
That's such a great analogy because it really gets to the heart of the tension in a startup. Unlike big established companies with all their set processes, startups are swimming in uncertainty and resources, usually pretty tight.
Yeah, to say the least.
It's genuinely impossible to do everything well at the start. And that pressure, that temptation to say yes to every shiny new idea or opportunity, that feels positive, right? You want to chase things, please people.
Sure, you don't want to miss out.
But that yes habit, it can actually kill companies, especially when they start to scale, or sometimes even before they really get going.
Okay, so if you're that entrepreneur, you're in this swirl of ideas. Everything feels urgent. Resources are scarce. How do you even begin to decide what to build first? It sounds like just going with your gut isn't enough.
It's really not sustainable. Think of it like this. Your startup is a rocket. You've got a limited amount of fuel.
Okay.
Every day you delay making a call, every week you spend building a feature that isn't core, you're just burning that precious fuel.
Right. And you don't get that time or money back.
Exactly. It's not just losing time, it's losing the chance to learn from the real world, from actual users.
Yeah.
The mantra really has to be, fast decisions are way better than slow ones. And they're infinitely better than making no decision at all.
Even if the fast decision is wrong.
Well, yeah, because a wrong, fast decision, you can usually correct it. You learn something quickly. But a slow decision, or just paralysis, you might run out of fuel before you even find out if you were pointed in the right direction. The key insight, really, is that speed of learning beats perfection every single time. Because perfect is often just an illusion anyway, especially when you're just starting.
So practically speaking.
Practically, your first focus has got to be just getting operational, quick. Concentrate only on those make or break issues, the ones you can actually figure out with some analysis, the ones that dictate if you proceed and how.
Okay, so we're building our yellow sedan. Speed of learning is paramount. That sounds like we're not building the whole thing on day one. We're talking about the MVP, the minimal viable product.
Precisely.
But let's go back to the team. They're already sketching holographic dashboards and, diamond-encrusted gear sticks.
Yeah.
How do you gently, or maybe not so gently, tell them, hang on, folks, we're just building the engine, wheels, and one good seat first? What does that MVP really look like for our car company?
It's a mindset shift. Think of the whole venture, the whole sedan project, as a series of experiments.
Okay.
Before you roll out the fully loaded model, you launch a small, crucial piece. Test the waters. The very first step is nailing down that business idea. What specific problem does this yellow sedan solve? What's the unique value it offers?
And that's not just guesswork.
No, definitely not. It means really digging in, discovering what problems customers actually have that your product could solve. What benefits would even a basic feature deliver? Then your business model outlines how you'll deliver that value and eventually make money. It's finding that core customer pain and building just enough of a solution to see if it hits the mark.
That deep dive into the customer's problem feels critical. But okay, let's say we've identified a real need. There are still tons of potential features we could build. How do you pick the ones for that very first MVP? I mean, it's luxury sedan, right? Don't we need some fancy stuff from the get-go? Won't we lose that luxury feel if it's too basic? How do you handle that?
Ugh, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? This is where prioritization gets really strategic, almost ruthless. You want to focus on what some people call smash hits.
Smash hits.
Yeah, these are the features that offer really significant benefits to the customer, but, and this is key, they require minimal behavior change.
Ah, okay. Less friction.
Exactly. Think about Google search when it first launched. Radically better algorithm, much better results. But the interface, it looked like every other search engine. People didn't have to relearn how to search. It was just better,
Yeah.
easy to adopt.
So the opposite of something like, say, the Dvorak keyboard, maybe technically better, but required everyone to completely change how they type.
Precisely that. Or early satellite radio, where you needed whole new hardware. Those are the long hauls. They might pay off eventually, but adoption is slow and painful because you're asking too much of the user up front.
Got it. Avoid those and avoid the sure failures, low benefit, high behavior change.
Right. So startup managers are constantly doing this trade-off, features and performance versus cost and complexity. It often means being, well, incredibly frugal in most areas.
Okay.
But knowing exactly where you need to spend premium resources, there was this company, Oscar Medical, making microsurgery tools. They save money everywhere else, but they said, we made sure we got the very best microscopes.
Clear priority. That makes sense.
It signals what's truly core to their value.
And it sounds like listening to the customer goes way beyond just surveys. It's about understanding what they might not even be able to articulate.
Absolutely. Look at Intuit's SnapTax app. They realized the pain point wasn't just doing taxes, it was getting the info in. So scanning forms, brilliant simplification, or Project Agranova in India. Started as an SMS service for farmers with crop prices. Simple enough.
Yeah.
But the farmers said, look, prices are great, but we need to know which agent in the market will actually give us that price. Big difference.
Okay. More action.
Totally. So the team pivoted. They included the Mandy agents. That feedback didn't just tweak a feature, it fundamentally changed their understanding of the problem they were solving and thus the product itself.
That's a fantastic example of adapting on the fly.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you found the problem, pick your smash hit MVP features for the yellow sedan, you're getting feedback. But then there's this tension. Do you launch super early, maybe a bit rough, launch early and often? Or do you wait until it's more polished, launch when your product doesn't completely suck? How do you make that call?
That balancing act is critical, and it depends a bit on the stakes. Dropbox, for instance, they handle people's precious files. Losing data, catastrophic.
It is a non-starter.
So for them, leaning towards doesn't completely suck was the only option. Their initial product was simple, but it had to be robust, reliable.
Okay.
Now, product cycles are getting shorter, so there's pressure to get to market quickly. But here's the thing. You can often learn what you need from smaller focus tests rather than giant, expensive launches.
Like dipping a toe in the water instead of cannonball.
Exactly. Test fewer variables, learn faster, save resources for the next iteration. You scale up what works based on that learning.
Okay, so we've got our MVP strategy for the yellow luxury sedan, lean, mean learning machine. But that car won't build itself.
Right.
We've got this team engineers, designers, marketers, all talented,
Yep.
all probably with slightly different ideas about what makes the best sedan. How do you make sure they're all, tightening the bolts on the same engine, not building 5 different versions that don't fit together?
That's where vision and communication become absolutely paramount. A strong, clear vision, that specific yellow luxury sedan, acts like the glue holding everything together.
With glue. I like that.
It gives everyone a North Star, provides continuity even when things get chaotic, and it gives individuals enough room to innovate within those boundaries. But communication, you have to get that right before things break down.
Proactive, not reactive.
Absolutely. Because a misunderstood priority, a fuzzy vision, that leads to teams building features for like a blue pickup truck instead of our yellow sedan. Wasted effort, wasted time.
So what works? How do you make communication effective?
Things like contrarian office hours can be great dedicated time where people are actively encouraged to challenge assumptions about the project's direction safely.
Okay.
Regular, consistent 1.1s aren't just about performance reviews, they're vital feedback loops. Tech talks to share knowledge. These aren't just nice-to-haves, they prevent misalignment on the actual work, on the project itself. Really, a leader's most crucial job here is being that feedback loop between the product and the market, yes, but also for the team.
So clear communication keeps everyone focused on the yellow sedan. But what about making the actual decisions as things get more complex? Who decides on the next set of features or if we need to change the chassis design? That sounds like it could get really messy fast.
Oh, it's a classic bottleneck as companies grow. Someone, usually senior management, needs to make it super clear who gets to propose an idea, who needs to give input, who actually makes the decision, and does anyone have a veto or a way to appeal?
Sounds almost bureaucratic for a startup.
No, it can feel that way, yeah, especially when you want to move fast. But without that clarity, decision-making just grinds to a halt. Nobody knows who owns what. Accountability gets blurry. Your whole project strategy can just drift based on who shouts loudest or has the most internal influence.
Right. Politics over progress.
Exactly. The goal isn't bureaucracy for its own sake. It's clarity to enable speed. Minimize the number of cooks in the kitchen for each decision. And getting unbiased input, that's key too.
How do you manage that?
Simple tricks can work wonders. Have people write down opinions anonymously before discussing, or go around the room in reverse order of seniority. Get the junior voices heard before the bosses sway the room, or just ask for direct emails with candid feedback.
And you mentioned disagree and commit. That sounds important.
Hugely important. Teams need to practice it constantly. Have the debate, hash it out, maybe argue passionately about the right shade of yellow paint. But once the decision is made, everyone commits. Everyone pulls in that direction. No grudges, no passive resistance, undermining the project later. And crucially, document those key decisions, those inflection points.
So everyone remembers why you chose that path.
Yeah.
Okay. And the team structure itself. How do you organize the builders?
For innovation, focused teams tend to work really well. Small, usually just 3 or 4 people.
Okay.
And the composition is deliberate, maybe an engineer, a product manager, a designer working tightly together on a specific part of the project. And clear roles are vital.
Like who does what?
Yeah. Generally, the product lead owns the why and the what. Why are we building this feature? What problem does it solve? The engineering lead owns the how do we technically build it effectively? And managers, their job includes protecting the team.
Protecting them from what?
From overload, mainly. Pushing back on unrealistic commitments, saying no sometimes. Common tracks managers fall into that derail projects are things like not delegating, not training their team up, ignoring broken processes, and just never saying no to more work.
Right, leading to burnout and delays. It really paints a picture of this whole thing being an agile journey, doesn't it? Constantly adjusting, like upgrading the sedan's features year after year, or even realizing it needs a whole new engine design. How do startups keep that experimental mindset going?
It's essential for survival today. The market moves too fast. So methodologies like lean startup focusing relentlessly on validated learning. Customer development, agile software methods, design thinking. They aren't just trendy terms. They're frameworks for making sure your experiments, your project iterations are purposeful. They directly feed back into what you prioritize next.
So it's not just random trial and error.
Not at all. It's structured learning. If your initial tests, your MVP, doesn't get the reaction you expect, maybe people aren't ordering your concept, you have to be ready to rework it, maybe significantly. And qualitative research. Talking to people, one-on-one interviews, focus groups, critically important for digging deep into why things aren't working or what customers really need.
Like the Dropbox example you mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
Pivoting their marketing based on what actually worked.
exactly. They saw users were referring friends, so they leaned into it. They dedicated engineering resources to build that two-sided referral bonus, amplifying the behavior they saw working. That wasn't their initial plan A for marketing, but the data, the learning, led them there.
So it's about being willing to ditch plan A. This links straight to the idea of pivoting, right? Like realizing halfway through building our yellow sedan that maybe it needs to be electric, not gasoline.
Very much so. You hear it all the time. What ultimately succeeds is often plan B, or C, or D. Successful startups rarely just follow their initial roadmap perfectly. That initial perseverance is vital, but it has to be balanced with flexibility, with a real willingness to learn and adapt the plan. Skyhook Wireless is a good case. They changed their whole business model based on conversations with potential partners.
Wow.
Engaging the market early told them their initial project assumptions were off. We see it with Alma pivoting during the pandemic, or Binti, which made the incredibly tough call to downsize and refocus on a completely different model based on customer insights. These are major project course corrections, often painful, but necessary.
That really underscores the commitment to finding what works, even if it means tough changes. How do you maintain focus and manage the project through all that potential change, all those pivots.
Well, the goal is always finding the right temporary solutions for real immediate problems. Keep moving the project forward, even with small, validated steps. And as you grow, that decision hygiene we talked about, it becomes even more critical. A bad or slow project decision has way bigger ripple effects in a larger organization.
Makes sense.
This idea of continuous innovation, constant refinement of the project and the product, it's not just a nice to have. It really is the cornerstone of staying competitive.
Yeah.
You can't just build the yellow sedan, launch it, and dust off your hands. You have to keep tuning it, improving it, maybe even reimagining it based on what you keep learning.
Okay, let's bring this all together. For you listening, what are the absolute key takeaways on project management and prioritization in a startup?
Okay, first, prioritize ruthlessly for that MVP, your yellow luxury sedan. Focus laser-like on the core value. Pick the features with the biggest bang for the buck, requiring the least change from your customers. Get that out there fast.
Second, communication and vision are your glue. Use structured channels, regular 1.1s, clear decision-making roles. Make sure everyone deeply understands the why and the what of the project, even if they debated the how.
Third, embrace the Agile journey. Treat everything as an experiment. Be ready, even eager to pivot based on real feedback. Rework things, keep learning, adapt that project plan constantly.
And finally, get deep into customer understanding. Use interviews, focus groups, really listen. Let that insight drive your future choices, your priorities from day one. Make sure you're building the right sedan for the right people.
Ultimately, it's not just about building something. It's about building the right thing for the right audience at the right time. And that comes down to making smart, fast, informed project decisions again and again.
We started out imagining building that perfect yellow luxury sedan, obsessing over every detail. But what we've really uncovered is that project management and prioritization in a startup, it's much less about a fixed blueprint.
Much less.
It's more about this continuous cycle of adaptation, focused effort, really listening to customers and keeping the team aligned just to get that crucial first version out and then keep going.
So here's maybe a final thought for you to chew on. In this world that changes faster and faster, is the ultimate skill in project management not about rigidly following Plan A for that yellow sedan?
Right.
Is it perhaps more about the team's collective ability to sense when that sedan needs a major overhaul, maybe even needs to become a different kind of vehicle entirely, while somehow still keeping the wheels turning and moving forward?